My name is TEETZ, and that's my nickname. That's what they've been calling me since I was 8 years old. I'm a contemporary urban artist, I guess. You know, there's a lot of names for this style of art, but that's the kind of the name I like, you know, mixed media, multidisciplinary artist. Because I like to flow between many mediums, you know. I have a background in photography, so that's why I do a lot of kind of portraits, and I've always been really into aggressive punk collages. That's always what attracted me to art, and once I started applying that onto canvas, I found a love in it. When I was younger, I was always into art. It was always something that I really liked to do. My father is an artist as well. When I was a kid, he would do a lot of paintings. He was really into painting, so I kind of grew up watching him paint. And then when I was about 19 years old, I decided like I really want to do photography, and I loved fashion and fashion portraits, and I was really into like David LaChapelle and Miles Aldridge. You know, like these were photographers that I was really in love with as a kid, because like they kind of like built these film sets but did stills instead of directing films. And I don't know, I just really love this. And I guess I started working for a fashion photographer when I was 19, and I remember the first day I walked into that studio and saw that studio, and it was like this massive white studio like in a movie, and it changed everything. That day I was like, okay, this is what I want to do forever. I want to be in a studio as much as I can, you know? So this is like kind of like my collage station. It's where I make my my miniature collages. This is really the station where like everything starts. This is where I do all my studies for all my designs. Everything that all the assets you'll see in my paintings start on this table. Maybe 2-3 years before COVID, I went to rehab, and I wasn't doing any photography because I couldn't bring a camera there, but we had art classes every day, and that's where I started really drawing and like letting out my emotions on canvas. And you know, when COVID came around and I wasn't able to photograph people anymore, I decided, okay, well, this is like the time to like get a studio. So me and my buddy, we got a studio, and you know, I just started taking posters off the street, and I just started making these collages that I wanted to do. And yeah, I guess that's how it all started. I feel like every human is an artist in some way, you know, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing it with passion and you're doing it with thought, I think you're making art, you know. Like accountants can be artists, in my opinion, you know. Like my accountant is 100% an artist because I can't do what he does with numbers. So for me, an artist is anybody who does something with passion, with their own ideas, with their own thoughts, with their own inspiration, you know. Is someone who just enjoys creating more than he enjoys consuming, he or she. Well, for me, it's like really fun, you know, like I'd rather do this than anything else. Like I worked in restaurants for so long, and I loved it. You know, I love restaurants. I love that environment. You know, I was a bartender, so I was able to be creative, and like every cocktail was like a little installation that I would make. And, you know, I started it because it was super fun, and I'm continuing to have fun, but now I see the joy that it's bringing into like my clients, you know, my client's life. And you know, when I do restaurants and I see that they're super happy and their clients are happy with the look of the restaurant, that makes me like, you know, makes me proud that I get to do this, have fun, and at the same time other people are enjoying it as well. For me, art is just somebody's story, you know, and when you look at especially artists that you don't know, is awesome, because you can kind of create your own story in your mind, you know. And then if you love that artist enough to actually dig deeper into that artist and like find out what they're all about, for me, that's like a fun adventure for the viewer. With the whole social media thing, I noticed like you know, a lot on TikTok. I get a lot of messages from other artists because I do like a lot of tutorials. 'Cause I just want to inspire people to do their own art, you know? Like, I feel like art sometimes can be like a scary thing where people are, you know, they have this belief that, oh no, you know, you have to be born with talent, but all that is like made up. Like nobody's born painting paintings, you know what I mean? Maybe maybe there's some kids who are like, you know, off to start amazing, but I feel like as you get older, if you have a passion for something, that passion is not going to go away. So you have to feed it, you know, or else it becomes depression. Yeah, it keeps me not depressed making art. So, you know, it keeps me happy. So I guess that's the one main reason I do it. I'll never do something that doesn't make me like really excited. I'm excited every day. Even after 3 years of doing this full time, I'm very excited every morning that I get to like do this, you know? So. If you follow me on social media, a lot of my stories, my daily stories, is just like me talking about my day or like saying crazy stories that happened to me. So I feel like if I just put myself out there more as a human, you know, it makes people a little less scared to approach my art, you know? And I feel like if you don't get to know the artist, you know, like there's a lot of artists that are these mysterious artists that you don't see their faces and they like, you know, they hide, not that they hide behind their art, but they let their art talk for them. But for me, I just like, I'm a people person. I enjoy being out there. One after another, one after another, one after another, bro. Man, I was like getting so freaked out by it, bro. Most of these paintings I do, they have like a very clear theme of destruction and beauty, you know, and addiction and aggressivity and calmness, like the yin and the yang. So that's why I'll have like these destroyed backgrounds that kind of look like they're ripped apart, but on top of that, I'll have this beautiful face. And what's his name? David Sorrento, for example, he was the one who did he created the whole heroin chic. And in the 90s, like there was all these beautiful models that were like shooting up heroin and overdosing and dying, and like that whole like lifestyle of drug addiction and beauty was always so connected. And for me, that's what I want to show through my art, that like, you know, like, and I have experienced my own drug addiction, and I remember my mother used to tell me, oh, but you're so good looking, why are you addicted to drugs? And I'm like, but like looks have nothing to do with this, you know what I mean? And I would laugh at like how people don't understand that like addiction is really, especially in that industry, it's a heavy thing, and there's so many insecure people in that industry. And yeah, I don't know, it's just for me, that's the message I'm trying to put across, is that, you know, like beauty and destruction are very kind of together, you know.